Welcome back to CX Coffs Harbour International Sports Stadium for the Women's Opens fixture. This time the Sydney Scorpions take on ACT Raiders. It's Adam Collins in commentary, joined by Lee Drennan. Lee, Women's Opens action. Where do we see this game going? The Scorps have been dominant over many years, but the ACT Raiders have also had a great tournament so far.
Yeah, that's right. No, I'm excited to watch both of these teams. I've actually obviously not seen them play with the new sort of spectator laws that we've got in place this year. So I haven't got to watch either of these teams. I think it'll be reasonably exciting, that's for sure.
Yeah, so the ACT Raiders get the first opportunity to attack the Scorpions line here with the tap-off to start the match.
Have we got any intel on how both of these sides have fared throughout the tournament thus far?
I don't, mate. A change of possession occurs. So now the Scorpions well on the attack here. This is enterprising but nice defence there by the way of Alira Davis for the Raiders, getting outside to make that touch.
Just to add to that previous point too, Adam, the actual the referee that's on field, he will probably actually control the two middles, particularly, and then either sideline referee, rather than just sitting there and having a holiday there. Actually,
nice late switch there, really and then a great shift from Aliyah Paki. Finds Sammy Rogers, but unfortunately for the Scorpions, the referees have found an infringement and called that one forward. Let's have a look at it here in replay. There's a beautiful late switch, and Aliyah Paki, wow.
It's just the end-over-end pass. It gives the opportunity for the ball, I think, to look like it's gone more forward.
And it probably floats a little bit more.
It floats so much more rather than the spiral technique, obviously, where it goes usually pretty flat.
From acting half, the quick ball off the ground, you know, beautiful delivery for that sweeping player, and that earns the penalty there. Casey Drasizic it is.
You say these names very confidently. That one was intimidating.
I'm not sure how correct I was, but it's confidently.
Say it confidently.
Madeline Orr is the number 19 at half now. That's a nice shift to Wilson. Wilson will take the ball down for Drasizic again. There's Wilson, goes long, and that's a great pass. Elise Wilson, one of those expert inverted commas commentators that we had up here with this yesterday. Let's have a look. The quick pass off the ground again, the split out. She rolled the ball, and then that beautiful right to left pass, and finds Brianna Toes in the corner, and the ACT Raiders take the early lead on the Painaway scoreboard. Beautiful play there, Lee. Pass, and finds Brianna Toes in the corner, and the ACT Raiders take the early lead on the Painaway scoreboard. Beautiful play there, Lee.
Well, we spoke a little bit about sort of the floating, the end-over-end pass. That was the complete opposite, at the total opposite end of the spectrum. That was a bullet pass, spiraled, and hit the winger, as we talked about yesterday, at full speed, not breaking stride. We see a good short side crack there. That'll be a try too. A hit back straight away.
Yeah, the Scorpions girls, we said, plenty of experience out there, and young number 22, Kate Ryan, gets that one. Let's have a look. She goes over. Beautiful pass from Kate, and she finds Nicole Saldern.
She held the ball long enough there just to make the link come in and turn her hips into base and have to make a touch. And then once that was done, delivered a beautiful pass.
So Nicole Saldern gets a name in the scorebook there, but nice lead up that one correctly. Emily Smith. This young lady really stood up to be counted last year at the New South Wales State Cup. Only a youngster, but exciting prospect.
Good ACT defence there. You can see they're trying to really get out and make those touches further than the 7-metre line. So that one's closer. They're probably 8 metres out there. And he's happy to the referee there that the ball was down first. Two middle defenders aren't as impressed.
And that is young Emily Smith, the player that I talked about. Let's have a look at it again.
It's a great line.
Yeah. Wow.
Maybe harshly done by there. And the thing about that is that if you are able to get out as a defending side 8 touches further than the 7-metre line, then in theory your defending line shouldn't actually have to get back to the line, which is an important thing. It probably means that if you're giving them the 7-metre line, then that distance to get on.
Just probably tied herself up a little bit there with that one.
I think also the Scorps have done so well to keep them so far out away from the line. It made, even though her footwork was good, it meant that the defensive line was pretty set and could chase down from there.
Rogers gets that one back into Aliyah Paki there. Rogers out of half. Area. Good metres here. Saldern pops out of the pocket, does well, goes down. Nice little colours pass there, or a tap-on play.
It's a nice setup now. Good hole.
Short ball. beautifully constructed try there by the Scorpions. That quick release from Kate Ryan.
But it ends up looking really easy, to be honest, this one short ball and a good hole. But what was so impressive with a couple of touches before that, you can see they got both sides of the field up so that all 6 defenders were up and out of position. And it means that really to get back and make that touch for the link was just way too much to ask.
The setup was done 2 or 3 phases earlier than that, but Alicia...
2 touchdowns that they've scored have been, last 2 tries they've scored, I apologise. It's been turned over straight away by the ACT Raiders, which means that we spoke quite a few times about the importance of holding after you have scored, and that's just been a couple of donations, really.
Good metres there. Firstly from Davis, then Smith. A nice pick up and release out of half. That one's away. Smith now with the ball goes out to the right edge. Late switch. Sammy Rogers. There are not any better finishers in the game than Samantha Rogers. And that combination, we'll keep an eye on Smith. We'll see here. That's a nice release from half. Shelley Davis gets that one away. This is the crucial pass here. Let's have a look at the timing. She holds it up nicely. The ball was clearly gone. And Smith with the late switch.
I think the point you make, Adam, is so important that she could have switched there. Big moment in the game here, you feel, for ACT Raiders with probably 4.5 minutes. If they could hit back here, they'd really feel as if they're right in the game going into half-time.
It's important to finish the half well.
Yeah, exactly. That momentum going into half-time, I think this is where we've seen quite a few times games to get away from teams. From those last couple of minutes, you just let your guard down.
There's Wilson on the sweep play. She looks back inside to Casey Dragicic.
It's brilliant. See, when Elise Wilson hits the line at speed, she gets so many defenders interested in her. And then it just opens up space all around her for those short holes, and she's working really hard to get that happening. You can see she comes up the back here on a sweeper, gets the ball in her hands early, goes at the line, and that short ball back there is a great hole hit too.
Those 2 players have been very important for the Raiders. Dragicic with a footwork and a speed. She hit the Beck Beath in the number 13. Rebecca Beath, an important player as well for the Raiders. But there's Wilson on the sweep. Dragicic out of half. That's a nice long ball herself.
I think it's a great touch.
Touch made. Yeah. Sensational defence from the Scorps. Let's have a look in replay as she pushes out hard.
I think what the winger does so well there is just doesn't worry at all about what's happening inside of her and just legs it. Absolutely pinned her ears back for the wing.
Jessica Nagy, I believe it was, made that beautiful touch for the Scorpions. Had to be done as well. That's held up nicely. Now they've got numbers. Just the final execution. Nagy again comes in and knocks that ball down.
2 razzle-dazzle to try and score from that position.
So the Scorps drive well up to the halfway line now. They're on the attack here. Sweeper play coming around. One-handed take. She did nicely there. That's Saldern with a late switch. Straightens up, finds a defender coming in hard. There is a clash there. You can see the immediate attention of the defender, just asking if the Scorpions player was okay. So Brianna Toes there, she had to come in as hard as she did. There was no malicious intent. All she was doing was looking to stop. So we see a nice release out wide, well taken.
Yeah, that would have
Erin Feeney, I think that might have been.
And there is some sort of penalty into ACT probably before they'd actually earned the right by going forward. They're going to get another penalty here as well for an offside.
Yeah, just probing for the line there. She thought she might have had a play-through call.
Yeah, this will be a big test for the ACT Raiders now. Full set of 6.
There's Saldern, gets it to Alicia Tepar. Tepar hands off for Paris Mooney now. There's Tepar. Long ball left to right. Alicia Tepar, too powerful, too good there with that beautiful pass. Delivered nicely straight onto the chest of the link player. Let's have a look at it. She looked to go left, stood up. This big left hand, dominant pass from left to right, beautifully executed. And that is number 4, Jessica Nagy. That's just reward for those defensive efforts there late in that first half.
Exactly. And it's a
ball needs. They have a great range of touch footballs. And they are here on site at the Inferno National Touch League looking after all of the players and officials.
That makes sense, actually, Adam, because I was just downstairs and there were... Oh, hang on a second. Hold that.
Sammy Rogers. She'll need to find support. She went through from half.
That's out of nowhere.
You can hear in the effects mic a very happy spectator base for the Scorpions calling for Kate Ryan. Let's have a look what happens here.
It's the winger. The winger just scoops down the sideline.
So Sammy Rogers, as she goes through, play on there,
okay.
offside called. And Rogers, as I said, one of the best in the business. And that beautiful running style, the balance.
Good use of the left arm there, isn't it?
Yeah,
right up nice and high.
She's a renowned finisher, but they're demonstrating that she plays heads up.
The wing that she's not on.
So the Scorpions girls up to the halfway line.
It's a touch called here too, then she'll have to take it back. I think this is pretty late in the count too. I think it counts
Macy
for
Carruthers
the
into
referees.
half. It's Kiala Duff that was driving in there. That's a long ball out to Rogers.
Foot race.
They won't catch her from there. Wow. How quickly the game can turn. 7-4 now on the Painaway scoreboard. Let's have a look at it in replay. Beautiful pickup. Aaliyah Paki heads up, finds space out wide, and Rogers, the ultimate finisher in the Women's Opens game, gets the job done once again. Look at that smile.
She's been fantastic. There's plenty of reasons to smile. The last couple of minutes for her, she was the turnover.
Yeah, just some unfortunate there for the Raiders. Gives another opportunity for the Scorpions here. Down on their own line, you really need to get over halfway.
Well, it's the hardest thing sometimes when you're tired and you feel like you need a sub. The temptation is to pass it to someone that's actually in a worse position than you, because you don't really want to be the person that's running.
Sweeper play now. Sorry, Lee. Just had to call that one because we could see Pahuka Duff loading up. She did it nicely. She swept and looked to go wide and then just stepped off the right foot. Here she is at pace. She knew she had Rebecca Beath beaten there, and a beautiful change of direction. And unfortunately, I think that might be Katie Pazizic. She was just caught in no man's land, flat-footed.
She didn't know where the line was. She was 7 metres behind the line, which is not going to be overly useful, but you could see her that she was just really confused by where they were on the field.
But Pahuka Duff coming with the last ball. So now the Scorps will close this out. We're into the final minute. The Scorpions leading the ACT Raiders 8-4 on the Painaway scoreboard. The Scorps doing a great job here.
I think they're going to have the last crack at adding to that Painaway scoreboard too.
There's Saldern turning it back inside. She goes for the line herself.
I don't know that the touch is made by Elise Wilson. No.
Alicia Tepar gets her second.
Fantastic line. It's run here.
It's a nice ball from Saldern, and then just off the right foot. Sees the hole open up. I think it's Rebecca Beath was caught flat-footed behind the line, and Wilson couldn't come in to help out. You can actually, that was a beautiful shot. You could see Beath knowing that she was beaten and calling for help, and Elise Wilson just couldn't get in there in time.
No, it's right. It's great attack. Just never letting the ball die. Never.
You can actually, that was a beautiful shot. You could see Beath knowing that she was beaten and calling for help, and Elise Wilson just couldn't get in there in time.
No, it's right. It's great attack. Just never letting the ball die. Never easy touches, and that was probably really sums up how dominant Scorps were in that second half.
Yeah, the Painaway scoreboard tells the story. The Scorpions take out that Women's Opens fixture over the ACT Raiders, 9-4. A great game from both teams. We look forward to bringing you more action. We're here in the next time slot. The North Queensland Cyclones take on the South Queensland Sharks in the Men's Opens division. That game will come your way in about 4 minutes' time. We look forward to bringing it to you here at the 2021 Inferno National Touch League. Stand by for the action.